Welcome back to the Crypto World channel, everyone. My name is Josh, and right now the Bitcoin price is battling this significant moving average as we speak. Also, on the smaller timeframes, we do actually have a Bitcoin divergence forming on the smaller timeframes once again. I'll be covering all of that and more in this video. So for you Bitcoin holders out there, make sure you're watching to the end of the video so that you're not missing out on any of this important information. And if that sounds good to you, just before we jump into it, make sure to drop a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on for more videos like this one. And by the way, if you missed my last video on the channel, I did actually unbox the very first Bitcoin rewards credit card in the world. So after you finish watching this one, definitely check out that one if you missed it. But with that out of the way, let's get straight into what this video is about. So right here, we're on the Bitcoin to US dollar chart on the 1 day time frame. And as you can see just here, I've got the 50-day simple moving average, this green line just here. And that is a pretty significant moving average for Bitcoin because going back previously, throughout the most part of this bull run just here that we've actually seen since around September last year up until the top just here, this 50-day moving average was actually massive support for Bitcoin a few times just here. As you can see, after these huge corrections, we did actually get these nice bounces along the 50-day moving average. And then as soon as we actually broke below that moving average, came back up and really found a lot of resistance along that level, that was basically the sign that we were starting to, form a bit more of a downtrend here in the short term. And so far, technically speaking, we are still in a downtrend in terms of the daily time frame just here in the Bitcoin price, because technically speaking, we are still below the 50-day moving average. We're still forming lower highs in the Bitcoin price. So we haven't actually confirmed a new uptrend in Bitcoin just yet on the bigger timeframes. Of course, fundamentally speaking, things are starting to look more bullish for Bitcoin, but I'll be getting into that later. And I also covered that a couple videos ago on the channel, my last Bitcoin video. But yeah, talking about really what's happening right now, we are right now battling this 50-day moving average at the time of filming this video. Now, we did see a quick wick above this moving average recently over the past 1 day. As you can see, this moving average is coming in at roughly around 34.4K, give or take. But yeah, we really need to see a daily close above that moving average, and preferably with a decent spike in volume just here to actually confirm a break above that moving average. And also, if we can see a retest of the moving average as well, then honestly, that would even be better for Bitcoin's case here, because going back and taking a look at what actually happened when we broke below that moving average just there, as you can see, the price moved below the moving average. We got a couple daily closes below the moving average, while the volume just here did actually start to pick up to the upside as we're breaking below. And not only that, we saw the retest of this moving average before we confirmed the next major move to the downside. So once again, we will confirm another major move to the upside if we can get a confirmed break above this level. So once again, that's talking about a spike in volume or surge in volume as we're breaking above that level, daily candle closes, and potentially a retest of that level as well. If we cannot get above the 50-day moving average within the next couple days, once again at around 34,500 give or take, then we could experience a little bit more downside price action in the immediate short term. Once again, just talking about the short term here. And if we do get a bit more of a rejection from these levels just here, then I would actually expect the Bitcoin price to find some more support in around this area right here. That's roughly around 32,500 US dollars as our next area of support on the chart, if we cannot get above this simple moving average on the daily time frame once again. Now, taking a look at this moving average just here on the daily time frame once again, this is the 23 smooth moving average. And the reason why I've chosen a length of 23 is taking a look at the Fibonacci levels just here. That is one of the first Fibonacci levels, 23.6%, as you can see just here. So yeah, the 23 smooth moving average on the daily time frame actually gives us another perspective just here. And in fact, this could even be more accurate than the 50-day simple moving average. As you can see just here, we have found multiple supports along this moving average in the past, and this is actually even more precise than the 50-day moving average. Taking out the 50-day once again, as you can see, we did get a bounce back there and also back here, but back at the end of February, beginning of March this year, we did actually miss the 50-day moving average, but we did actually see a perfect bounce along this red line just here, this other moving average. And also looking at this resistance level just here, as you can see, that missed the 50-day moving average, but this red line just here, once again, the 23 smooth moving average, that pretty much provided perfect resistance at that point in time in around the middle of June. And right now, once again, we are fighting this exact level, once again, coming in at roughly around 34,500. So right now it is coming in at just about the same level as the 50-day simple moving average. So in the immediate short term, we can actually experience experience a bit of short-term downside price action potentially if we cannot get above this level just here. But as I was just explaining for the 50-day moving average, if we can see a confirmed break above this moving average right here, honestly, that will actually be really bullish for Bitcoin if we have confirmation coming in. Once again, I'm talking about daily candle closes above that level, spikes or surges in volume, or potentially a retest of that level. Anything like that can actually trigger a new uptrend here on the daily time frame for Bitcoin. Of course, yesterday on the channel, we were covering the fact that Bitcoin has now officially broken out of the downtrend on the daily RSI, and we are now beginning a potential new uptrend in the daily RSI right now. Once again, we covered that on the channel yesterday, but really the main thing that's still in the downtrend at the moment is, of course, the price. We have not confirmed a new uptrend just yet, so this is definitely something that I will be paying close attention to moving forward. Because if you actually take a look at the last time the Bitcoin actually broke above this moving average and started using this moving average as support, as you can see just here, that was actually back in the beginning of October 2020 when Bitcoin was at roughly around 10,500 US dollars, give or take. And yeah, from the moment that we actually broke above that moving average just there to the moment that we started breaking below that moving average, that was around a 400% gain to the upside. Up to the all-time high, that was around a 500% gain in the Bitcoin price. Now, I wouldn't necessarily expect a 500% gain if we broke above it from where we are right now, but once again, this can still lead into a significant gain for Bitcoin if we can see a confirmed break above that level. Now, of course, talking about some other short-term resistance levels just here on the chart, as you can see here on the 4-hour time frame is what we're on right now. By the way, we do, of course, still have that resistance level coming in at approximately 36,500 US dollars, considering the fact that we did find resistance along that exact level previously. And also, if you're on the channel a few weeks ago when we were finding resistance along that level, I was actually telling you that it's likely for us to find resistance along that level before we even found resistance along that level. And how I could do that was simply to use the Fibonacci levels just here. As you can see, that is the golden pocket, the 61.8% Fibonacci level. So once again, in the immediate short term, that is also another level of resistance that I will be paying attention to for Bitcoin at roughly around 36,500 US dollars. Now, when we're really looking in the short term just here, this is only on the 2-hour time frame. As you can see just here, we've already seen a small bearish divergence actually form in the 2-hour time frame for Bitcoin. As you can see, once again, we have seen higher highs in the Bitcoin price, but in the RSI just here on the 2-hour time frame, we have seen lower highs. So that is a bearish divergence. And what it just means for the beginners out there is it means that the Bitcoin price is going to stop heading to the upside in the immediate short term. And we're either due for at least some sideways price action, if not slightly to the downside. So this has already really started to play out just here. I don't actually expect a massive crash from a bearish divergence. It just basically means that the bulls here, this uptrend here, is starting to lose a little bit of steam in the immediate short term. Now, distinguishing between different time frames is really important for you Bitcoin holders out there and Bitcoin traders out there, because for example, right here on the 2-hour time frame, technically speaking, on the 2-hour chart in the short term, we are in an uptrend for Bitcoin. We are making higher lows and higher highs for Bitcoin. So this is good in the immediate short term so far. Zooming out to the daily time frame, once again, on the daily chart, we are in a downtrend. We are technically speaking looking a little bit more bearish on the daily time frame if you're just looking at the price alone. But on the weekly time frame and the monthly time frame, we are still in a huge uptrend, a huge bull market on the much larger time frame. So looking between the different time frames definitely gives you different perspectives on the market. And once again, that's why I always say for the beginners out there, the best strategy to go with for the beginners is simply to dollar cost average, especially in around the current prices, considering the fact that we are now at a massive discount compared to where we were a few months ago, and simply hold that Bitcoin for the longer term. Keep a long-term perspective, because when you're taking a look at what Bitcoin is doing over the long term, once again, it is extremely likely that if you are holding Bitcoin for even just a couple years, it's very likely that you're going to be making money in the long term. Once again, of course, we're always going to have these short-term bearish trends in the market, but every single bearish trend, every single bear market that we've seen in Bitcoin so far has always recovered, no matter how severe it's been. In fact, the bearish price action that we've experienced over the past couple of months here isn't even close to the worst of the bearish price action that Bitcoin has seen throughout its history. And as I just said over on my Twitter just here, as you can see, I said whales, which is the smart money, are closing their short positions. Institutions, which is the smart money, are buying Bitcoin, buying into Bitcoin. And retail, which is also known as the dumb money, generally speaking, are actually entering short positions conditions overall. And I said here that this isn't just my opinion, this is actually a fact. We've got data to back this up. I did actually back this up over on my Twitter once again with all of this proof. And this was also what I was covering in my Bitcoin update just yesterday on the channel. So if you missed that, definitely check it out, because fundamentally speaking, things are starting to look up for Bitcoin. Talking about the midterm as in over the next few months or so, I do expect a decent move to the upside coming in within the next couple months. So yeah, by the way, if you're not following me over on my Twitter, I continue to post these updates throughout the day, and I also post these videos over on my Twitter as well. So definitely check that out if you haven't already. The link to my Twitter is in the description down below. But anyway, that's just about everything I have to say for this video. It's just a quick Bitcoin update telling you guys some important levels to pay attention to and my price targets moving forward, areas of resistance, support, all of that sort of stuff. And if you enjoyed this video or got something valuable out of this video, be sure to leave a like on the video down below. And if you're new to the channel, once again, make sure to subscribe to the channel with notifications turned on so that you're not missing out on any of these future updates. And also considering the fact that right now we are actually in an amazing opportunity in the overall crypto markets. There's never been a better time to share these videos around with your friends. So if you're liking these videos every single day here on the channel, make sure to share them with your friends as well. Get your friends in on the action, because once again, we are in a time of opportunity right now. But anyway, that's really everything I have to say for this video. Once again, I really hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you all in the next video.